Hey there, welcome to The Empowered Edge, the podcast that gives you nutrition, mindset, and habit-building strategies that actually work. I'm your host, Jenna Hostetler, registered dietitian, certified neurocoach, and your go-to guide to break free from burnout, cut through the health noise, and reclaim control of your body and brain. Each week, you'll get practical, science-backed strategies so you can stop second-guessing yourself, sharpen your focus, and finally feel like the woman who leads her life, not just survives it. One of the biggest reasons that people struggle to hit their goals is because they're thinking of goals all wrong. In this episode, I'm going to break down what goals really are, the biggest mistakes to avoid when setting goals, and what to do immediately to make sure your goals will actually take you to your end result. When people typically think of goals, they think of the end result they want. They'll say something like, I want to lose 35 pounds before Christmas. And the problem with a goal like this is that you can't actually control what your body's going to do. You can't force your body to lose weight, especially if you don't know the root cause of the weight gain. Most people set goals based on outcomes they can't control, which is what we were all taught. What do you want, and by when do you want it? But all this does is cause disappointment, frustration, and eventually giving up because we set a goal we had no control over. And it creates a false belief that we aren't good, we don't win, we can't have success. And none of that is true. If we really want to experience success, we have to focus on action-based goals, something that you can directly control, which will move you toward your bigger outcome-based goal. And here's the part no one wants to acknowledge. We may not know exactly what actions will get us to our desired result. Let's take our weight loss goal of losing 35 pounds before Christmas, just because it's an easy example. So the average person would think, if I need to lose 35 pounds, I need to find the right diet, I need to learn something new because more information is always better, and I'm going to go all in on this new method that says it'll be the thing that changes my life. Then what happens? Eventually, there's a weekend they're out with friends, or an evening they don't feel like putting in the effort, and they go back to old habits. Then, since they've gotten off track, they might as well make it worth it. And then the phrase that is a proverbial nail in the coffin comes out. I'll start again on Monday. And when that doesn't work, they go looking for a new method, having absolutely no clue that with the habit of giving in and giving up, there is no way to ever get results. And here's the problem with setting goals this way. It turns your focus away from you and your actions and onto other people, usually experts or influencers who have the magic pill, the secret sauce, and the only thing you need to get your results. It is setting you up for failure because you've forgotten that every single outcome you want in life is solely dependent on you. If you're listening to this, you're not average. You have no desire to be average, and you get to not do what average people do. Average people set goals based on outcomes. High performers and people who will do what it takes to get the results set goals based on actions that will lead them to the outcome they want. So when we say goal, what we really mean is, I will commit to doing this thing or these things until I get the result I want. And because you'll be tracking your progress, you'll know when things aren't working, so you can pivot and learn what does work. Actions lead to outcomes you want are the only way to hit your goals. So let's go back to the person wanting to lose 35 pounds. The actions to take are not following this diet, because that's still incredibly vague and has a lot of actions required to do it. The action-based goals would be drink water. No soda, no juice, no vitamin water, no Gatorade, no flavored water, none of it. No fancy coffee either. It would be walking for 10 minutes a day because you know you can't lose weight and be healthy by sitting on the couch. And eating a higher fat, higher protein breakfast, not carbs and sugar. That is how specific you need to be with your actions because that is what builds discipline, resilience, and confidence. And it's nearly impossible to be confident in your abilities when you never follow through. And the lack of confidence is why we turn to the trends, the influencers, the new exciting information, because we don't believe we can do it on our own. So to get out of that cycle, we have to first rethink how we look at goals. Now, before you dive in and start listing 6 changes to make, remember, success comes from doing one thing exceptionally well, not trying to overhaul everything at once. The goal here is to build confidence by consistently following through, which means you start by focusing on one clear, specific action. So use these qualifiers for an action-based goal that sets you up for success. Number 1, it is an action that moves you closer to your big goal. Make sure it's on target, make sure it's going to take you where you want to go, make sure it's not a distraction. Number 2, it is something that you're doing, not avoiding. You are going to eat a protein-rich breakfast, not you're going to not eat donuts. Number 3, it does not require buying anything to start. And number 4, it's something that you could start today. And if you want a more specific framework for going through this process, go ahead and go down to the show notes and download Go Getter. So your homework for this week is to look at whatever goal you've been working on and identify the one action to start focusing on, using the qualifiers that I just mentioned. And when you start doing that, success is inevitable. So take action, stay empowered, and I'll see you next time. Okay, now before you pop off, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the one episode that could change your life. And give us a 5-star review if you learned something new today. If you want to check out all the awesome free guides, templates, and resources I've given away on this podcast, go to theneurodietitian.com/resources. You can grab anything you want, but only if you'll do it, because information without implementation is worthless. And here at The Empowered Edge, we're action takers, not excuse makers.